In past videos, I shared how to effectively teach students how to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction, along with useful resources. However, in today's video, the focus will be on helping students distinguish between the two. When given a mix of addition and subtraction word problems, students may sometimes become confused with what operation to choose. To help clear up some of the confusion, students must be able to distinguish between the actions involved in both addition and subtraction, as well as the overall situation. In simple terms, students must recognize that addition and subtraction are opposite operations, whereas in addition, amounts are being combined, and with subtraction, amounts are being separated. As a reminder, we will be using the cubes problem-solving strategy to help students think through the process of determining the correct operation to use. Note that if students have had experience using the problem-solving cubes think sheet and no longer need it as a scaffold, still encourage them to use the cube strategy as a guide. Now let's see how this can be done using this example. As you can see, we have cubes written off to the side, and as I go through each step, I will cross out one letter at a time. Denise has 215 posts on Instagram and another 169 posts on Twitter. How many more posts does she have on Instagram than on Twitter? After some reflection and thinking about the situation as a whole, students should then proceed by circling some key numbers, in this case 215 posts, as well as 169 posts. Cross the C out, then identify the question. Next, they should box the action words, in this case, how many more. Next, the E reminds us to evaluate the problem. In other words, to think about the actions involved. And being that it mentions how many more, a comparison is being made, and students should be able to recognize that subtraction is used to compare the difference between two amounts. The last step in the cube strategy is to solve for the answer. This is where students will need to write an equation and/or picture to show their work. However, for the purpose of this video, I will not be modeling this last step. Let's repeat the process with this next example. Jane had 615 jelly beans in her candy jar. Her friend has 122 more jelly beans than Jane. How many jelly beans does Jane's friend have? After circling the key numbers that will be needed to solve the problem, as well as underlining the question, now consideration needs to be given to the actions involved. As we can see, Jane had some jelly beans, and her friend had more jelly beans than Jane. With that in mind, we're trying to find out how many jelly beans does Jane have in all. At this point, students should be able to reason that addition will be needed to solve for this problem, being that we're trying to find the total amount of jelly beans Jane friends has. With this next example, let's assume that we've already read through the word problem and we've gone through the first two steps of the cube strategy. Boxing the action words will help us with the next step, which is evaluating the problem. Here we see that after selling some shirts, they had some left. Those action words should signal to the student that something is being taken away and should reason that subtraction will be needed to solve for this problem. Once again, with this last word problem, we're going to assume that we've already read through it and we've taken some time to reflect. And now we're identifying or circling the key numbers as well as underlining the question. Boxing the action words for this word problem should be easy to identify if students truly understand the situation involved, or in other words, what is taking place with the problem. As it states, there are some students in the line. However, there are some students that have left the line. And we need to find out how many students or how many people remain in the line. We can reason that since some left the line, then they are taking away. Therefore, we know that subtraction will be needed to solve for this problem. Here are a few things to remember. To help students determine which operation to choose, they need many opportunities to practice, clear understanding of the actions involved in each situation, as well as being able to justify their reasoning. Be sure to stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching. To continue to support my channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.